Hi, good afternoon. My name is Christina Michiraggio, and I'll be your moderator for today. I'm a community service analyst level 2 with the LA Found program here at the LA County Aging and Disabilities Department. So thank you everyone for joining us for our LA Found webinar today. And I would like to just review a few housekeeping items for our viewers. This presentation is being recorded, and we want to make sure that you will have questions that will be answered at the end of the webinar. So if you do have a question, please go ahead and click on your Q&A box, and you should be seeing a slide with those options. And then we will go ahead and wait until the end of the webinar to answer those questions. Unless you have technical issues, please let us know. Please reach out in the chat box or the Q&A box. We want to make sure that we can help you out. So if you'll see that there are multiple options on your Zoom for ASL interpreter and closed caption, you can go ahead and click on those to make sure that your viewing is accessible. So please let us know again if you have any assistance. So I want to get this webinar started. We're very excited. I'm very excited to introduce our first speaker. I'm very happy to have Carlos Benavides with us today to commence this webinar. Carlos Benavides is the president of the LA County Commission on Disabilities. He was appointed to the commission by Supervisor Don Knabe of the 4th District on June 15, 2014, and he is the current president of the commission and chair of the Patient Advisory Council at Rancho Los Amigos National Rehabilitation Center. So he's an incredible partner to the Aging and Disabilities Department, and we are so grateful for your leadership, Carlos, and for all of the dedicated commissioners appointed by all 5 of the LA County supervisors. So please welcome Commissioner Carlos Benavides.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the LA Found webinar. My name is Carlos Benavides, president of the Los Angeles Commission on Disabilities. We're so glad you've chosen to spend this time with us today. For those who may be new to this initiative, LA Found is a groundbreaking LA County initiative led by the Aging and Disabilities Department in partnership with the Sheriff's Department to protect and safely return loved ones with cognitive impairments who may wander. The cornerstone of this initiative is the Project Lifesaver program, which provides a free voluntary trackable bracelet for at-risk individuals with Alzheimer's dementia, autism, and other cognitive challenges. The peace of mind this service provides to caregivers is immeasurable. We're honored to have an incredible lineup of experts here today. I have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker this afternoon, Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities Interim Director, Maral Karkushian. He has been extremely instrumental in supporting the LA Found program as the former Senior Children's and Human Service Policy Deputy for Supervisor Janice Hahn, and now as the Interim Director for the Aging and Disabilities Department. Maral Karkushian, welcome.
Thank you, Carlos. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here. So good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this webinar. As we recognize LA Found Day here in Los Angeles County, today's LA Found webinar is about honoring the journey and how LA Found is changing lives. This year's theme is protecting loved ones, empowering caregivers, and strengthening community. Launched in 2018, LA Found began with a simple mission: to protect families whose loved ones with Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, or developmental disabilities who are at risk of wandering, to help find them, to help track them, and to help kind of address it as a county response. So 7 years later, that mission has grown into a lifeline, bringing peace of mind to families and saving lives. I'm Maral Karkushian, and I'm the Interim Director of the Aging and Disabilities Department. I've had the privilege of being part of this effort from the very beginning, and I want to thank Supervisor Hahn and Barger for helping create the Bringing Our Loved Ones Home Task Force, and now the LA Found and the work of the LA Found Task Force, and our many county and community partners whose leadership and dedication have made this possible. Most importantly, I want to recognize the families who will be sharing their stories today. Melba and Primo Castro and Diane Plaskow. Your courage and commitment inspires us. and you remain the true heart of this program and the reason we're here. LA Found Day was officially recognized last week on October 15th, 2025, marking 7 years of this incredible program. We held a press conference to honor the LA Found program, which continues to make a powerful impact on the safety and well-being of LA County's families and caregivers. During that celebration, we introduced the new Theora Care smartwatch, which is a GPS-enabled device that provides real-time tracking, geofencing alerts, and caregiver connectivity in a discreet, everyday design. It really does look like a smartwatch. LA Found has truly been a beacon of hope. At the Aging and Disabilities Department, our mission is clear: to make life better for our older adults, family, caregivers, and individuals with disabilities. Thank you for being here today to celebrate how far we've come and to commit with us to where we go from here. Now let me introduce videos from Supervisors Janice Hahn and Supervisor Catherine Barger. Without their dedication and the motions that launched this incredible program, we would not have LA Found, and more importantly, this incredible program. Please take a moment to watch these recorded messages from Supervisors Hahn and Barger. Thank you so much and have a really good webinar.
Hi, I'm Supervisor Janice Hahn. When we launched LA Found in 2018, our mission was simple but powerful: to protect families and to save lives. Today, more than 1,000 people across Los Angeles County are enrolled in this program. And behind every number is a story. A grandmother safely returned home, a child with autism found quickly, a caregiver finally sleeping at night, knowing help is just a call away. Families in Long Beach, Torrance, Norwalk, and every city in between have felt that impact. The need for programs like LA Found is only growing. Research shows that 3 out of 4 people with Alzheimer's or dementia have wandered from their homes by walking, driving, or even taking public transit. Each incident puts families in crisis and too often puts lives in danger. That is why I've worked to expand services for older adults and to invest in programs like LA Found that offer real practical solutions for families. Tools like our LA Found watches don't just shorten search time, they give families what every caregiver deserves: security, support, and a little bit of breathing room. Our commitment is clear: to keep growing, keep innovating, and make sure every family, no matter where they live or what they are facing, has access to this lifeline. LA Found is changing lives every day. Together, we are protecting loved ones, empowering caregivers, and strengthening our communities. Let's continue this journey and build a future where no family has to face this challenge alone.
Hi, I'm Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger. I proudly represent the 5th District, the county's largest, stretching from the San Fernando and San Gabriel valleys to the Antelope Valley and across our mountain and desert communities. The heart of LA Found's mission is support for families and caregivers who live with the daily fear that their loved ones might wander. You are the foundation of this initiative, and today we recognize your commitment and compassion. What makes LA Found so remarkable is its reach. It serves every community across our county, from the foothills and valleys to our rural towns. In our North County communities, families deserve the same access to life-saving tools as those in the middle of Los Angeles City. No matter your zip code or your income, this program is here for you. There is a deep need for this program, and the numbers speak for themselves. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the prevalence of autism spectrum disorder in California is 1 in 19 children, significantly higher than the national average of 1 in 31. With this reality comes a difficult truth. Wandering individuals with autism carry a high risk of accidental death, and drownings is the leading cause of these tragedies, especially among children. Children may wander for many reasons. They may be overwhelmed by sensory input, drawn to water, or seeking comfort. Whatever the reason, the risk is real. As someone who has long championed both public safety and mental health, I see LA Found as a model for what works, families, caregivers, first responders, and county departments working together. This is a nonpartisan county-wide commitment to protect our most vulnerable residents. As we look to the future, we are committed to expanding outreach, advancing technology, and supporting the caregivers who carry so much on their shoulders. LA Found is more than a program. It is a promise that you are not alone, that every family deserves peace of mind, and that together we will protect loved ones, empower caregivers, and strengthen our community.
I'm going to go ahead and introduce Kirk, and he will talk in just a moment. So thank you so much, Supervisors Janice Hahn and Catherine Barger, for allowing us to hear from you and your wonderful remarks. And I do want to introduce Kirk. Kirk has been an extraordinary advocate for the LA Found program. His unwavering passion, dedication, and love for his wife, Nancy Paulikas, have been the driving force behind the program's success. Your commitment, Kirk, to honoring Nancy's memory and your determination to expand LA Found across LA County continue to inspire us all to raise awareness and ensure every community knows about this life-changing program. Kirk Moody, everyone.
Oh, thank you, Christina. So let's get started. Next slide, please. So this is my wife, Nancy Paulikas. Nancy was a brilliant engineer, an accomplished and successful businesswoman. I forced her into becoming a Broncos fan, somewhat difficult. She was an avid fan of the outdoors. She was a pilot, and she was the love of my life. Unfortunately, 11 years ago, my world was shattered when we learned that Nancy had early onset Alzheimer's disease. She continued to degrade, and 9 years ago, my world was turned upside again when Nancy wandered from a family gathering at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. Despite Herculean efforts to look for her by law enforcement, friends, family, and volunteers, we weren't able to find her. We continued looking for 26 months until it turns out that her remains were identified at a remote, hard-to-access canyon up by Mulholland Drive. During my search, we called every city and county office that we could think of that might possibly have encountered Nancy in any way, shape, or form. Supervisor Hahn learned about this and came and talked to us and was disappointed that there wasn't a more coordinated effort or a more coordinated way for the county to respond to at-risk missing people. Because of that, she and Supervisor Barger created the Bring Our Loved Ones Home Task Force. We participated in that along with many people on this call, and we came up with recommendations for the Board of Supervisors. I'd like to thank the Board of Supervisors because all those recommendations were unanimously passed, and it resulted in the creation of this program, LA Found. Next slide, please. As Carlos mentioned, the flagship of this program was the Project Lifesaver bracelets, and over 1,900 of those bracelets have been issued. Of the issues to the people that have wandered that have received a bracelet, absolutely all of them have been found, located, reunited with their loved ones. So it's been a remarkably successful program, and we're going to continue to grow it. A key thing about the Project Lifesaver bracelets is they're difficult to remove, and they're perfectly suited, as Carlos mentioned, for people with autism, dementia, or other disorienting challenges. The LA Found group continually looks for new technology. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. If you're wearing one of these bracelets and you go missing, your loved one would call 911. You'll inform them that they have a Project Lifesaver bracelet and that mental evaluation team of the LA Sheriff's Department will respond immediately and use tracking equipment, ping the bracelet, and then use tracking equipment to locate the person very quickly. This has been a remarkably successful technique. But the LA Found team is always looking for other technologies to add to the quiver. In this case, we're introducing the TheoraCare smartwatch, which has also been mentioned. This is a different technology. It uses GPS tracking and it interfaces with a smartphone and an app on the smartphone. The caregiver would have access to this, can use it to do geofencing. There's an SOS button on the smartwatch where the wearer could call for help, and it can support multiple caregivers, not just one. Cynthia Lopez Paz will talk more about this remarkable technology as we go on. So in closing, I'd like to thank the LA Found team for really doing a remarkable job of implementing the recommendations from the task force and continuing to grow this program. I think it really provides a lot of comfort for the families that have the watches. They have, they can be more relaxed. They can sleep at night, as Supervisor Hahn mentioned, and they have hope that their loved one will be found if they happen to wander. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Kirk. We truly appreciate you, and we're so grateful for your continued advocacy and dedication to see that families and caregivers have a program to help keep them safe. So we will now hear from one of the families enrolled in our LA Found program. So please watch this video of Primo and Melba Castro.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for allowing us to share our story. We are the Castros, and we're very grateful for the LA Found program. My name is Melba Castro. I am a working mom and also daughter of 4 beautiful girls. One is 16. Our daughter Sophia, who has Down syndrome, is 13, and we have 9-year-old beautiful twins as well.
So, and I'm Primo Castro, and as a father, and who constantly is reminded about the dangers, in our world, but also proactively advocating for children with special needs. Our family has always taken a different approach, for Sophia, our little one. As Melba mentioned, Sophia is 13 years old, and there is a lot of things that Sophia doesn't know how to do, but she is a very loving, caring, she loves music, she loves to do a lot of things, and we focus our activities around her.
Sophia is in the 8th grade and is a beautiful young lady who is a social butterfly. She enjoys music, dancing, and food, of course. But more than anything, being a mom and also of a special needs daughter requires us as a family to do a lot of planning in terms of activities, functions, events, and always ensuring there's accessibility for her.
So just like any other parent, with a child with special needs, we realize that it's not as simple as a lot of people make it out to seem. Sophia, like other children, have actually wandered, out on 3 separate occasions. So it's not just once, but 3 separate occasions that we've had to really think about what's very important to us, but also how can we keep our little one, Sophia, safe and sound, but also with not being so restrictive in mind. The first time that that this happened, it wasn't the first or the second time that really worried us as much, but it was the 3rd time that she wandered off. We were, the whole family was watching television together, and we assumed because everybody was in place, everybody was having fun, and Sophia had gotten up, gone to the restroom, or so we assumed, and then all of a sudden we started counting the minutes where Sophia, she'll be back in a few minutes. We let it go by a few more minutes, and then all of a sudden we all realized that Sophia wasn't back. And then this is pretty much when the panic mode started kicking in for us.
And while we found Sophia, thank goodness to a neighbor who let us know that she was there playing in their yard and safe and sound, we did start to look for other options in terms of should she ever run off or walk off, what could we do to locate her? And try to see both products that were available, all that had their challenges, and we were very fortunate to find the LA Found program.
So the application process was easy. Staff was great. It was a simple application. We followed up, staff followed up with us, and some documentation was required, but like it wasn't a big ordeal, right? As Melba mentioned, some of the other items, GPS trackers that we had been looking at, were too bulky, were too restrictive, and also for Sophia, who at the time was very young, they were just a little too big for her. So we needed to think about weight. We needed to think about, how much she would be able to carry this product everywhere.
What we also love about the new version of the tracking device is it looks almost like an Apple Watch. And so from Sophia's perspective, she feels that she is wearing something that is a nice modern gadget. She thinks it's fun. She often also calls Dad because Dad is the number that is linked to her watch, and thinks that it's a fun aspect of her her everyday. For us, what it means is it gives us a peace of mind and the ability to always know where she's at.
So the Theora watch has been sort of like a beautiful addition to our household. It's, as Melba mentioned, not just an opportunity for Sophia to help connect with us, even though she may not know how to use it completely. That shiny red button definitely is a ringer for her and stuff. And she knows that all she has to do is push it. It calls me directly, or vice versa. From our phone app, we're able to call, Sophia directly, just because we know that sometimes Sophia may not even know how to answer a call on her watch. But the beautiful thing about the watch also is the other features that it comes with. It comes with a timer on there, it comes with time, but also the fact that we're able to look at the end of the day and see how many steps Sophia has taken. Kids with Down syndrome and other special needs, we understand that, sometimes weight can be an issue for them. So we love the fact that we're able to track how many steps Sophia takes in a given day and then help adjust food and other snacks as we see fit.
So again, we're very fortunate to have found LA Found and hope that this opportunity is available to other families, whether it is for their children or also for aging individuals, that this could really be a value added in terms of giving more families peace of mind, providing support and safety to residents in the local area.
We hope, we love the program so much that we feel like a commercial, always putting it out there with our friends and families, always putting it out there with people that we know. And as someone who works in the public health space, there's nothing more beautiful than trying to share knowledge and information with other people that you know and you care about. I really hope that this program, not only, as we've seen it, is very successful, but we hope that this program goes beyond LA County and to the rest of the state as well. So thank you, LA Found. I think because of the program and the county itself, it's part of the reason why we're always constantly reminded that, when you put, good money in good programs, that there's a lot of things that we could do together. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Primo and Melba Castro, for sharing your story, and we're so grateful to have you in our program. So I want to next introduce Cynthia Lopez Paz. I'm so grateful to work with Cynthia. She is the LA Found manager. She leads the implementation of LA Found, which was LA County's initiative supporting families and caregivers of individuals with Alzheimer's, dementia, and autism, and other conditions that put them at risk of wandering. And she's going to talk all about LA Found. Just so you know, she has been in the county for over 26 years. She is an incredible asset to this department and the county. And so without further ado, I will go ahead and pass it over to Cynthia.
Thank you so much, Christina. Want to make sure, okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. As Christina mentioned, I've had the privilege and the honor of leading the LA Found program in LA County. In this role, I've been lucky to have worked alongside Kirk and Carlos and so many of our dedicated partners over the past 7 years. As you previously saw, in October 15th, we declared LA Found Day in Los Angeles County, and it was celebrated by introducing our newest technology available, the Theora Care smartwatch. You heard from Kirk on how the program got started, and today I will be sharing program milestones, successes, and most importantly, the eligibility requirements on how to apply. I just want to add that at the heart of the LA Found program are the families and caregivers who leave each day with the fear that a loved one may wander and not come home. If you cared for somebody with Alzheimer's, dementia, or autism, you know that the wandering isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. LA Found provides the support necessary to build a Los Angeles County where every individual is protected, every caregiver is supported, and most importantly, every loved one has the best chance to come home safely. So let's go ahead and get started. LA Found, as I mentioned, is a countywide initiative that was launched in 2018 to help protect, locate, and identify individuals with cognitive impairments such as Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, or any other developmental or intellectual disabilities who are prone to wander. LA Found has 3 key areas that we focus on. The first one is enhanced coordination. That was one of the things that Kirk talked about. We really are looking at how we can improve as a county when we learn about an individual who has a cognitive impairment and has wandered. We also our focus includes technology solutions, as you've learned today. But a big part of our program is also advocacy and doing the prevention, education, and training so that everybody in LA County is aware of this program and they have, or if they know somebody that may benefit from it, that they share that information along the way. We also rely heavily on social media and social engagement to get the word out so that anybody who may qualify can in fact get a device. So we are very lucky to provide the current technologies are 2. We started with Project Lifesaver International. That is a radio transmitter device. So it is from a organization, a nonprofit that is located in Florida that started this particular device. It works by using radio frequency, so similar to the FM radio signal. So the participants that wear the device, the device itself constantly emits a radio frequency signal that when the individual wanders away and gets lost, the Sheriff's Department mental evaluation team has the specialized antennas that can actually read the signal and help ping the individual and locate that individual. Our newest device, which we had the opportunity to secure through a grant from the Department of Justice, is the Theora Care smartwatch. It's a global positioning system device that works along with a app where families can set geofences, which are like areas in which the person can, if they wander away from that area, they would, in fact, the device would send a signal to the app, and it would alert the caregiver to let them know that the person has indeed gone beyond what has been considered as a safe wandering area. Also, it provides enhanced connection, which allows the caregiver and the individual who's wearing the device to hit the SOS button on the device, and that will automatically connect them to the individual in whom the app is registered to, the device is registered to. And one of the greatest tools, I would say, it's really enhancing safety through real-time location tracking. And a lot of the families enjoy the peace of mind of knowing that they can look at the app and see where their loved ones are. And they can set multiple sites that the individual may frequent and set like boundaries or the, like I mentioned, the geo zone for those. So to qualify for the LA Found program, the individual must have a cognitive impairment, either Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, or a developmental disability, brain injury. They must be mobile or have like an assisted device that allows them to have mobility and we makes them prone to wandering. And then the individuals are LA County residents. As we heard from the Castro family, it really would be great for this program to be available statewide, but for now, it has been available for LA County residents. So how to apply? You have very different ways to apply. You can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can go to our LA Found webpage to download an application or to go to the application portal. You can also call us or you can email us. And of course, you can also request for us to send you a paper application to regular mail. As it with any program, there's always responsibilities from the people that are participating in the program. And in this case, it would be what we consider an agent / caregiver. So an agent could be a conservator, an agent with a power of attorney, or an advanced healthcare directive. And what we do also is if the person has surrogate decision of priority, and that could be if the individual doesn't have any of the agent requirements, the conservatorship, the power of attorney, or the advanced healthcare directive, we would go based by the relationship to the individual that will wear the device. So that could be the spouse, the domestic partner, adult son or daughter, adult brother or sister, adult grandchild, and so forth. So we would really go based on the surrogate decision authority by the individual. Some of the caregiver and agent's responsibilities include, for the Project Lifesaver, they would have to test the device daily. It comes with a battery tester, and we provide the families with a log that they can record the information daily. The device does require a change of battery every 60 days. Since it works with radio frequency and is emitting a signal constantly, it's really important for the families to test the device and to change that battery. Also, to comply with informational and reporting guidelines. As with any program, we're trying to improve and to see where some lessons learned. So when there has been a wandering incident, most oftentimes we will reach out to the family to find out what happened and to see if they're in any need of any support from the county or to be linked with any resources. Another very important key, as with any tool, it is a tracking tool to assist in the location of the individual. It may not necessarily guarantee the location of the individual, but it's just one more added layer of security so that our families are safe. And if I cannot reiterate anything else above anything else, is that if you notice that your loved one has wandered, contact 911 immediately. That is key in locating time, is could be a very difficult thing when it comes to locating somebody with a cognitive impairment. So the quicker you can communicate with law enforcement, the quicker they can go out and they can begin searching for the individual. So as I mentioned, again, when a participant goes missing, contact 911. Let them know that your parent, loved one, son, child, daughter has Alzheimer's, dementia, or autism. Or even if it's a neighbor or a caregiver, just let them know what the situation is and that the individual, in fact, is wearing either the Project Lifesaver or the Theora Care device. So then we can proceed, 911 can proceed with contacting that the Sheriff's Department mental evaluation team, who are responsible for the search and rescue of LA Found participants that are wearing the Project Lifesaver bracelet. So if you see in the picture, it's a little small, but there's this device that one of the gentlemen is holding in their hands. That is actually the antenna that is used to track the signal. For the Theora Care, it's a little bit different because it comes with an app and families are directly notified when somebody has gone beyond the safe zone, but they can still call 911. We encourage them to call 911, especially if they're far away from the individual, and let them know that the person is wearing a trackable bracelet and let them know what the location is so that law enforcement agency can respond. The Sheriff's Department doesn't only do the Project Lifesaver rescue. They also do crisis assessments and interventions of individuals who may have mental health or developmental disabilities. They also do case management. They are amazing at de-escalating potentially volatile situations. As you can see, they are all dressed in pretty much casual clothing. When they go out with a licensed social worker to help de-escalate situation. And if a need is, something is needed, meaning that the person needs placement in a psychiatric facility, that is also coordinated by them. And they, of course, they're great partners with LA Found. Our relationship between law enforcement and the social services agency has worked really well over the past 7 years. And they also are out in the community training others and getting the information about the LA Found program to everybody. So just to talk about some of the program acknowledgements. As mentioned before, we have issued close to 1,900 bracelets. We've had 30 successful rescues with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department mental evaluation team. We're out in the community always. We try our very best to try to be present. So we've done more than 100, that's for sure. And we've done over 25 webinars to educate families and caregivers on, how to apply for the program, how to conduct, home safety drills, how to take care of the caregiver, which are all very important. And we've been very humbled to have been recognized by several awards, 5 in total. Most recently, the California State Association of Counties Achievement Award. This is an award that was only 3 agencies in Los Angeles County were recognized by the program, a total 17 statewide, and we were their favorite pick among all of the programs that were submitted. So we're very humbled and we're very happy that really the collaborative work that has happened between law enforcement, our department, our community partners is being recognized. So this is just a little bit of our milestones. In 2017, the task force for bringing our loved one home was established. And then in 2018, the BOLO, which is the Bringing Our Loved Ones Home report that was produced by this task force, was unanimously approved by the board, and the program was officially launched. And along the way, we've had a lot of great milestones. coming to our LA Found Day press conference in the launch or the formal introduction of the Theodore Care. And as we look forward, we're really looking as to what can we do to improve this program. So we'll be doing assessments and to look at new technologies and also formalize our case management program. Really looking at a way to take this program to this next level and to really support LA County individuals who are impacted by cognitive impairments, their families and caregivers. I also want to talk about the community events and webinars that we conduct. We do presentations, webinars, distribution events, outreach events, and we really encourage everybody that if you know of an organization or an agency or a community-based organization, anyone really that could learn about would benefit for our program, please let them know. And you can refer them to us via email. We're always looking at ways to connect with healthcare facilities, with community agencies and such to really continue the education process and to really bring awareness to the program. And now I would like to introduce Diane and David Paslov. They are two of our LA Found participants. Diane takes care of her husband who was diagnosed with dementia. So let's take a moment and hear to what they have to say.
Hi, my name is Diane Plaskow, and my husband's name is David Plaskow, and he's been diagnosed with dementia for like 3.5, 4 years, and it's gotten worse since he's wandering, especially at night, which is really troublesome for me because I don't know where he's going. So I have the new GPS watch, which has really helped me be able to locate him because I don't know, sometimes he just goes out the front door and disappears. So at least I can find him and track him now. I used to use an AirTag. He has an AirTag on him on his house keys, but sometimes if he goes too far, the AirTag does not work and I can't find him. So he used to go out more often, but he's been put on new medication, which has really helped, but he still does go out at night. And one time he went out at 3 o'clock in the morning and it took me half an hour for him to come back home. I was debating on whether to drive around my neighborhood or walk, and it was better that I walk because this way I could look at my phone where I have the app so I can locate where he is. So it's really been helpful. And I don't know if he's trying to go to Starbucks late at night. He used to go daily to Starbucks to meet friends, but now he doesn't go anymore. So now he thinks he has to go at night. So I don't know why he does it. And then I found out about LA Found through a caregivers conference that was at One Generation. And I called, I filled out the application for my husband, and it was really easy to input all the information. I was able to get a watch, the new GPS watch for him, which I charge at home, and then he wears it all the time, so I can always find him. The application process was really easy and I didn't have any problem. And then when he was able to get the watch, someone came out to the house to show him how to use it, or show me how to use it and how to download the app by phone. And he wears it all the time except when it's being charged. I have to charge it probably like after 24 hours, it needs to be charged. And the support through LA Found has been wonderful. And I'm the main caregiver for my husband. Sometimes I have another man that comes and helps me. And he told me I could call him if my husband goes out at night, but I haven't done that. So I'm able to keep track of him now with the watch, which is really wonderful. So I would highly recommend LA Found for anyone that is prone to wandering, especially at night. That's the worst time, especially when it's dark and no one else is out. And I don't know, it's been really, really helpful. My husband's wandering has probably diminished, but he still does go out. Even last night, I could hear the door opening around 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't know if he went out or not. So I checked my iPad to check my app to see if he was out or if he was still at home. And I checked the app on my iPad and it said that he was home. So I didn't have to go looking for him. So that was really, really helpful.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Diane Plaskow and David Plaskow, who is her husband. We truly appreciate you submitting an interview, recording with us. We're just so happy that you were able to share your story. And so we just want to go ahead and open up the Q&A session right now. We have a few questions, but before I do, we're going to go ahead and just let you know that the LA County Commission on Disabilities does have a meeting schedule that you can join live by going to the QR code and scan it, or you can email laccod@bos.lacounty.gov for more information. And this, just so you know, I wanted to answer one of the questions. Yes, this will be recorded and we will be sending this out to you who have registered. So do not worry about that. We have two other questions that I want to go ahead and send off to Cynthia to answer. The first question is, what if they do not have next of kin and only have support staff in place? And then let me go ahead and just bring up this question really quick. A person has to have wandered prior to applying for the program. My 90-year-old dad has dementia, is mobile, but has not wandered away. If you don't mind, Cynthia.
Okay, so let's start with the very first question. In terms of next of kin, and they have support staff in place, if the person has an advanced healthcare directive or if they're in a facility, we can work with the support staff to be able to assess a person and determine if one of these devices would be helpful. One of the biggest, concerns is that it has to be somebody that could, in fact, see if the person has wandered away and report that person to law enforcement. So we can definitely work with the agency. Please feel free to reach out to us via email or our hotline, which we will be putting up next. Also, I would recommend that, just give us a call too, and we'll be more than happy to assess. A person that has yet to wander prior to applying to the program, basically, this is to be a deterrent. So I would say that if the individual has dementia, part of that planning process, in case that the person does, which we know that about 60% of individuals with Alzheimer's dementia will wander, I would really recommend that they have a plan in place on how to keep that individual safe and include technology, either by applying to our program or looking at the many solutions that are available out there. And yes, the presentation is going to be available for rewatch. Please feel free to share with any other individual that you think might benefit from the program. And is that it, Christina? Do we have a couple more questions? Oh, is there any information on the number of people who removed the device? That is a great question. So we all know that we have to, part of the issue with any type of technology like this is that some people may not buy into it. And I'm talking about the individuals that are, impacted by a cognitive impairment. So our families get creative. They'll sew on a patch on the jacket and put in the device there, or they'll loop it through the shoes, or they'll put it in something that the person usually carries with them. But we do have individuals that, as the disease progression happens and they become a little bit combative and don't want to wear the device, then we know that this probably not be the best solution for them. And we would work with the family to see what they can do to improve. I don't have numbers per se, but I do know that we do have people that remove the device, especially also children with autism.
I see a question regarding whether this program is for the elderly only. And no, we have ages starting at 3 years old all the way up to 100 plus. So please know that we do work with the regional centers. We work with Alzheimer's LA very closely and other healthcare providers that refer many participants to us. And so we want to make sure, especially those who have wandered away as well, like law enforcement, do refer to us. And so there are children and elderly and adults with disabilities as well, cognitive impairment.
Thank you, Christina. And the final question that I have on the chat, can anyone apply for the program? Do they have to go through medical insurance for their family members? And the answer is no. The program is available to any county resident, regardless of immigration or income or property requirements. The person just needs to reside in the county of Los Angeles, be impacted by one of these conditions that leads to a cognitive impairment, and also are mobile and prone to wandering. That's basically all of the requirements for the program. So I think that there is another, I'm going to look at the webinar chat. There's a couple more questions there, Christina, you want to?
So thank you, Cynthia, very much. I'm so glad that we are still able to answer some more questions for a few more minutes. If not, then please email us or call that number, lafound@ad.lacounty.gov. And I'm going to go ahead and put the direct link to the application online so that you guys can go ahead and fill that out. Here you go. So we have another question. One second. Okay, so LA County only. So as far as the devices, the Project Lifesaver devices, as well as the Theora watches, are meant for LA County residents. That is one of the eligible criteria. We really had to use the signals, the transmitter only to LA County. But if you do go across, we are able to recommend, because Project Lifesaver is international and is national, they can offer the sheriff's services depending on where that sheriff county is. The sheriff's department participates, or the law enforcement agency. So it is possible for them to also help you in another state or in another area. We just have to look them up to see where they are. And the Theora, if you are participating in the LA Found program, yes, the GPS is meant for us in this LA County, so it would not work unless you had to purchase the device yourself and go that route. But we have the data plans that we're offering right now that also work, and that helps with having the device for free. So I think we have one more, unless my team wants to go ahead and answer any other
So
questions or
I
add.
also wanted to add regarding the device working out. Of course, it's going to work outside. It's a GPS device. We do conduct sample check-ins to make sure that the families are using the device and they are in fact charging it. So we're able to see approximately where the individual is at. So that's also part of the process. If the individual is constantly out of the county, then that's another conversation. But we really want to make sure that we encourage county residents to apply for the program. And then I think that there is a question that says, if the person is an adult and not conserved, is there a process by which they need to provide consent for this? So if you have an adult that is not conserved, but if you have a spouse or a child or a next of kin, we do have a contract for the program in which the person is asserting in confirming that they are the next of kin for this individual, and that they can make medical decisions or decisions to put a device such as this on the individual. So that is something that we have for the program. once a person really has the cognitive impairment, we all know that the conservatorship process is really difficult, but we really try to use the contract as a way to help individuals and help the caregivers and the families of these individuals. And that's all that I see.
Mhm.
And I'll
So
turn it over to Christina.
thank you so much, Cynthia, and thank you everyone for all of your questions, and please feel free to reach out to us. So we just want to go ahead and thank our speakers today. Thank you to our Aging and Disabilities Director, Maral Karkusian, LA County Board Supervisor Janice Hahn, and Catherine Barger, Kirk Moody, Carlos Benavides, our Commissioner and President of the LA County Commission on Disabilities, Cynthia Lopez Paz, Manager of LA Found, and our 2 LA Found families. So thank you everyone for being here today. And we just want to thank our team as well as our communications in the Aging and Disabilities Department for their support and for this webinar. So please look out for the recording, and we wish you all a wonderful week and look forward to hopefully hearing from you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.